In this video, I'm going to show you how to pack for a summer Camino, what items to leave out and which ones you really want in your pack. This video is sponsored by Camino Maps, the best free app for towns, distances and all accommodation on the Camino Francés and the Camino Portuguese. Okay, here we have all of the gear, but I want to start with a disclaimer. Everything I say in this video is not written in stone and has to be followed word for word. I want you to pack what works for you. Anything you don't agree with, simply leave it out. I won't be offended. I want you to use this video as a guide to help you. I've walked multiple Caminos and this is simply a packing list that's worked well for me. Okay? Now let's dive into it and look in more detail at all of the elements on this table. And this is a Talon Velocity 30 by Osprey. The 30 is in reference to 30 litres. And that's the size of this bag. And this is a vacuum pack bag, and I will use this as my bag liner. It's really important to be able to put your clothes in something that's waterproof. God forbid your bag gets wet. And some of the liners they're not see-through, so you can't see your clothes. So with this, you can kind of fill it with your clothes. You can pack it down tight, squeeze the air out, and get a bit more space in your bag. Light summer jacket. Could also be lightweight fleece or even a raincoat. Just something to wear in the evenings, and from a personal standpoint that I would wear going to the airport, because even in the summer England can still be cold. A lightweight pair of trousers from Decathlon. These can be really useful because even in the height of summer, if say you're on the Camino Francés up by Sobrero or Fontibedon, it can get cold on an evening. So it's useful to have a pair of long trousers. Long pants. A pair of Nike trail running shorts for walking in. They've got zip up pockets, they are super lightweight and they dry so fast. An additional pair of Nike shorts. These are a pair of shorts that I would wear after walking just for relaxing in. They also have a lining, so I could use those as swimming trunks as well. There are ample spots, especially along the Camino Francés and the Portuguese coastal, where you might want to take a dip in the water. So I would use these, and again, like my other shorts, they're quick drying. Short sleeve running t-shirt from Decathlon. It's synthetic, so it's lightweight, it wicks away the sweat, and it dries quickly. Short sleeve polycotton t-shirt, which I'll wear after walking, and can also be worn in bed at night if you get cold. If you want to get away from synthetic fibres, maybe consider taking a merino wool top or maybe even cotton, although that does take a lot longer to dry and is a bit heavier. I'll also add a sleeveless training vest. It's lightweight, it's synthetic, so it dries very quickly. It gives me another option. Either I can use it for walking on the really hot days or just for, I don't know, mooching around town. Like I say, this is optional. 2 t-shirts should be enough, but I like to throw this in. Also, you may notice there's no long sleeve t-shirt. With the jacket, I've decided to not take that just to save a tiny bit of weight. 2 pairs of boxer shorts. I would recommend at least once or twice doing a practice walk in your underwear, just to get used to it, to see if, well, for want of a better word, if anything chafes. Find what works for you. 2 pairs of socks. These are Smart Wool Ridgedale hiking socks. Please don't take your gym socks. Ugh. These are a Smart Wool, so they help wick the sweat away from your feet. And again, as you see here, there's only 2 pairs of each, which I know from the comments some people were a bit concerned about. If you think you want another pair of underwear or another pair of socks, then go right ahead. But from personal experience, 2 of each has always been enough for me. With the socks, you wear one, you always have a clean pair. If you're on a hot day, you can wear one for half of the day, then swap them over for a dry pair, and then just wash the pair of them when you get to the albergue. Travel towel. Now, this is a bit different from the normal travel towels. I found with a lot of the other travel towels, they just push the water around you. They do not get you dry. This is known as a terry towel, and I found this to be super absorbent, and I've had this towel since 2016. So yes, it may be a couple more pounds than the ones you can get in Decathlon, but for me, this is a lot more effective at drying me and actually being a towel. So I will add this to my pack. Are you walking the Camino Francés or Camino Portuguese? Camino Maps is your free, all-in-one hiking companion. Track your location in real time, plan your stages, and find accommodation with direct links to book or message. Available on Google Play and the App Store. Free, with no ads and no in-app purchases. Sleeping bag liner. You really don't need a sleeping bag in the height of summer, especially on the Portuguese and the Camino Francés. There will be some nights where you won't even want to get into this. It's super lightweight and takes up no space. Travel pillow. Now, for me, this is essential. For you, it may not be, but I do not get on with albergue pillows. Blister kit. Now, on my last video, someone commented and said, well, I don't get blisters, so I don't need this. My response is this isn't just for me. It's for other pilgrims I meet along the way. So I like to be able to help other people with blisters. As you can see, there is not one Compeed in here at all. Let me break down what's in here very quickly. So we've got some small scissors. These are super sharp, super lightweight. They're absolutely brilliant for cutting tape. Leukoplast, which is probably the best, most adhesive tape I have found walking on the Camino. And that is used for securing plasters on your feet. This is iodine. If, God forbid, you have to pop one of your blisters, you need to sterilize that blister. These are some antiseptic wipes for your hands, for a needle if you're going to use that, and just the whole foot area just to kind of clean off any dirt. These are material plasters. Material plasters stick to your feet a lot better than waterproof plasters. So I'd always recommend those. I'll link to those in the description. And at the back here, we have some Scholl pressure point foam, which is really good for kind of fixing to your feet with the Leukoplast. You cut it with this, and that can be in place to stop any hot spots from forming. So this is the blister kit. So let's break down what's in this bag. So here we have a laundry bag, which you use to put your pants and your socks in, and then you place that in a washing machine in, say, a communal wash. And I have to say, I've seen on several occasions when lots of pilgrims come together in an albergue, they put their washing in and somehow you lose a sock. If you've only taken 2 pairs, it's an absolute nightmare. You use one of these laundry bags, they weigh next to nothing, and they keep your underwear and your socks secure. The next items are pegs. These are brilliant for pegging clothes onto your backpack that haven't dried. It's a hot day, you're walking in the sunshine, you can pin some socks, you can pin your towel to your backpack, and you can dry that item rather than having to pack it wet. And this year I'm also adding a travel plug, which is great because so many albergues don't have plugs where they want you to wash your clothes. So you just pop that in, you can then fill it up with water, get some soap suds up, and actually properly wash your clothes. It's very cheap, it's lightweight, and like I say, it's a travel plug, and I'm adding it to my collection for this year. Okay, in the final bag, I'd probably call this medicine and ear care. So we've got some electrolyte salts here, and someone in my last video commented saying you don't need those, you can just have a can of Aquarius. My response to that is a can of Aquarius is a lot heavier than some sachets, and also sometimes when dehydration or real thirst kicks in, say in the middle of the Mesita, you won't have access to cans of drink. So having these is very useful, and they have come in so handy for me on several occasions. These for me are a must. Earplugs. They've got a very high decibel reduction level, and in some municipal albergues there are Olympic levels of snoring. So for me these are essential. At the back I've just got a small box of paracetamol. Yes, you can buy some in any Spanish or Portuguese pharmacy, but for me I just like to have them on the off chance I'm not near a pharmacy. Washbag. Now let's take a look what's inside. Toothbrush with protective top, small toothpaste, disposable Gillette razor, which you can use for the whole Camino. Nud deodorant. This little tub will last me for a whole Camino and for months after. It's a natural deodorant and I think it's brilliant. Nail clippers. Moisturizer, which I'll take out and put in smaller, lighter pots. Sun cream. Now, some people may say this is too big. I've emptied half of it, But for me, I'm English and I've got very white legs, so I need a lot of sun cream. And the final addition is this multi-purpose soap made from essential oils. I use it for my face, for my hair, and I can also use it for cleaning clothes, and I'll break some off so I don't mix up what I use for cleaning my dirty socks with my face. And there you have 2 pots with enough moisturizer, say, for me, for a 2-week Camino. And a baseball cap. It can get very bright, very hot in the summer. This is a wide brim cap which can keep the sun off you, and I would strongly recommend you taking at least 1 type of hat during the summer. 1 backpack cover, 1 poncho. It's actually in a sandwich bag because I couldn't get it back into its pack. This is actually a festival poncho. It's considered a disposable poncho, but I have not disposed of it. I keep using it. I've probably had it now for a couple of years. It is super lightweight. You're going in the summer. Yes, if you're going to Galicia, places like that, or on the Norte, you will get days of rain, even in the height of summer. But it's not that cold. Footwear. You don't really need walking boots. A simple pair of trainers will do. Insoles. These are some cheap insoles I get from Amazon, and they probably last me a good couple of Caminos. And they just help to keep my foot secure and cushioned in those trainers. And these are recovery flip-flops. I wanted to make a point about these because someone had said on my last video when I showed these that these are a lot more expensive and unnecessary because you can just get cheap flip-flops on, say, Amazon or Decathlon. The reason why these are a bit more expensive is because they support the arch and they've got a special foam. That's why they're known as recovery flip-flops. But sometimes it pays to pay just a little bit more for a quality product. Lecky walking poles. These are made of carbon fiber, so they are super lightweight. And I find they are so handy for going up over, say, the Pyrenees, up Ocebrera, and also for coming down. They can really help secure your feet and stop you from falling. Electronics. This is a super handy 2-pin plug that has 3 ports for charging your devices. I bought this in a shop called Ale Hop in Lyon on the Camino Francés, but there are lots of those stores all across Spain. This is just a little handy charging pack. I use that for my phone and a cable for charging my phone. This is a bum bag, and for me it's another essential item. You can have your money, you can have your pilgrim passport, but also what you can do, you can keep your valuables safe when, say, you go to the bathroom or you have a shower. Toilet roll. Now, hear me out. This is an essential item to add. If, say, you're walking a remote Camino, there may not be many facilities. But conversely, if you're walking, say, the Camino Francés, or I even saw it on the Camino Primitivo, in some of the cafes it can get very busy and there might not be any toilet paper there. And that is around 4.5 kg. Yes, you could get it lighter. You could strip out, t-shirt, the jacket, some sun cream, get that down to 4, maybe even 3.5. But for me, this is fine. And with water,